At 15:25, there was supposed to be a presentation of virtual reality by Mr. Ferhan Ozkan. You're here now. Okay. Ferhan, you have 10 minutes to do it. I have increased it by 5 minutes because we have skipped the break. And then we will immediately continue sharp on time with the women on the Silk Road of Impact at 16 hours. Please, Ferhan. This will be interesting. Virtual reality is a new reality. Yeah.
Thank you again for the nice presentation. Yeah, virtual reality. First of all, I would like to ask who have experienced virtual reality before? Okay, maybe 30% of the audience. So before going to that, since it is about impact, all about the impact and impact investment, maybe it will be first of all nice to see what kind of problems that we are basically addressing here with virtual reality. There are many surveys being done to CEOs to see what is the biggest concerns they have in terms of the future. After cyber threats and regulation problems, the third thing is accessing to the talents. And we see this especially much more on the emerging technologies. And VR, AR is one of them. And we believe that the gap will widen further in the next coming 5 to 10 years. What we are doing as VR First, I'm heading VR First, and we try to close this gap in working with different companies from Intel, HTC to different organizations like Science Park Association, World Business Angel Forum, World Economic Forum, United Nations, to close this gap as much as possible, because the main vision we have is to democratize virtual reality, augmented reality, innovation all around the world and make it accessible as much as we can. And on our perspective, we have started from the talents. So how we could access to talents, we started from universities. There are many universities who are working different emerging technologies, but VR AR is basically the one that really attracts whatever industry that you are working on. If you are in healthcare industry professional, VR AR could still apply to you. If you are working on education field or in agriculture, even in like real estate or manufacturing, VR AR still could disrupt your daily life and your business life. And we believe that it will happen next 3 to 5 years. There will be a lot of opportunities coming up. But now when we look at the top giant companies who has platform owners or the manufacturers, hardware manufacturers, they already invested billions of dollars for this technology to ignite the mass adoption. So let me try to explain how will it happen, how this transition process, we call it immersive transformation, how will it happen? You know, in the beginning we have a computer era that all the personal computers come inside our life, and it really helps us to calculate and helps our business life. And then internet is coming, so we become connected. Then we become much more mobile with the smartphone technology. VR AR, we believe that VR AR is not only a technology, but it is also a medium to explain yourself, to explain your problem, your difficulty, or to really train someone as well. So we were at Davos like 3-4 weeks before, and what we have seen is especially World Economic Forum and United Nations are already well aware of the impact that you could create with these technologies. Why? Because the people that experienced this technology have probably seen that there is a lot of empathy that you could emphasize, that you could embed to a VR experience. So think of people who are deciding on how we will create a solution for refugee problem, but they never went to any refugee camp in their entire life. So with this technology, you have the chance to bring them to a refugee camp as if they are part of that daily life, a refugee in a daily life. So what we believe is VR AR is so impactful, not only on the innovation side, but also on the social side. And as we are first, we would like to bring all of these efforts together. So that's why we have now 50 labs around the world, from Vietnam, Bangladesh, to Mexico, to Korea, US, Europe. We are building these labs so that they could connect together to co-create different experiences. Before going deeper on the social impact side, let me explain one interesting project that we are working with HP. We know that eventually we will go to Mars, right? But what will happen when we go to Mars? With HP, we are creating a project, a co-creation project, that we are utilizing all of the labs and the developers to co-create how does our urbanization in Mars will look like. How will the roads, the cities we will build, how we will build vehicles, shelters. And there are 85,000 people already being part of this discussion and this co-creation platform. There are more than 500 submissions being made, and this is the impact that you could create with these new technologies. So when we look at the social impact side, we are working especially on the healthcare and extreme human conditions part. So how does it work? For example, now we have program with Ireland to fund PhDs and top professors around the world who finds solutions for extreme human conditions or needs, like mental illnesses, like Alzheimer's disease, like disabilities, only using VR and AR. Since it's an empathy device and it really affects the mental treatment, they could be easily utilize this technology for this purpose. And we are also working with different governments and companies for that. And we are right now both on the facilitation part and incentivization part, not only bringing the facilities, labs around the world, but also utilizing these facilities with the co-creation challenges like the one that I mentioned. I would like to also mention about why we are here in World Business Angel Forum. We are now working with several business angel high commissioners and angels and investors to match them with the most promising projects and startups around the world. For example, we are working with Miguel, who are already creating impact on the XR side in Spain or in South America. So we have now different representatives in different regions bringing both the community side and the industry side together. Lastly, I would like to mention about a few more things. We are the only organization that could globally reach developers, top developers and innovators around the world, focusing on immersive technologies like VR, AR. If you are interested to discover this field, we will be happy to talk after the session. You could be part of the organization as a mentor or as an investor or even as a contributor, or if you have a project that you really would like to implement on VR, AR. Now we are already working with governmental officials to create Center of Excellence in different regions. We will be happy to support you. Thank you very much for your time.